I can't believe it's already that time again. This year has flown by fast, and even though BT17 literally just dropped in North America, exactly 1 month from today, we are getting yet another release. EX7 Digimon Liberator is set to drop on September 13th, 2024. And although North America has already gotten its general release for BT17 over this past weekend, some regions and countries are still a set or even 2 behind. But my channel aims to keep viewers informed on what is coming out, and I've already broken up these cards into more manageable chunks for you to check out what interests you the most. As always, if you find these videos helpful, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. Digimon Liberator starts with our 2 main characters, Shoto Kazama and Arisa Kinosaki. But briefly, I won't touch anything sealed related mainly because side sets do not have a pre-release. So let's dive right into it. Starting with Arisa's line, Pteromon is the level 2 that is yellow. With a simple inheritable of all of your opponent's security Digimon, get minus 2000 DP. Nothing too crazy here, but this does make it so that if your deck is able to swarm the board with low level Digimon and low stats, that means they'll have to be dealt with the following turn. Shoemon makes its debut in a set with a simple Your Turn effect that when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with the puppet trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Unlike Pteromon, who has a minus 2000 DP reduction in security, this Digimon's inheritable adds another 1000 DP debuff. While shoeshoemon is primarily one of the targets, other level 4s put you in the chessmon family, and even targetmon should you go the etamon line. But like most Digimon that are designed in this game, shoeshoemon also has the same inheritable, and has a when digivolving effect that if you have 1 or less tamers, you may play 1 Arisa Kinosaki from your hand without paying cost. Immediately, the archetype gets built out with the fact that it can play its tamer for free. The major upgrade here is that it's not if you don't have this tamer in play, but if you have 1 or less. I wonder if this type of effect will inevitably migrate to other Digimon. Chaperomon makes things a little bit more complex, but luckily all of these Digimon in the first video are monocolor and do not have any special Digivolution conditions into each other. This Digimon has a Digivolution cost of 3, and the effect Overclock puppet trait. This new mechanic allows you to delete one of your tokens or one of your other Digimon with the puppet trait, and allows this Digimon to attack a player without suspending. When Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying cost. The inheritable provides an all turns, once per turn effect where when this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by one of your effects, by deleting one of your other Digimon with the puppet trait, prevent it from leaving. A new archetype with protection? Damn, Bandai, that's pretty sweet. The final form for this Digimon is Cendrillmon, a level 6 Digimon with an Evo cost of 4 that also has the Overclock trait. At the start of your main phase and when Digivolving, you may play 1 familiar token. A 3000 DP Digimon that has an on-deletion effect where one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. When attacking, this Digimon also makes one of your opponent's Digimon lose 6000 DP. In all honesty, one problem I had when initially reading these cards was the potential skewing of ratios in the decks to account for Digimon to be played. But with Cendrillmon's effect, you are creating tokens and in some ways, an even better Diaboromon. Moving to Arisa herself, this 3-cost tamer has a start of main effect that if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. But her all turns effect is simply when a token or Digimon with the puppet traits is deleted, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying cost. A simple tamer that can float new bodies. Her option card is Wonder Stomp, a 2-cost option that main draws you a card, and then plays 1 level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from hand without paying cost. I'm guessing this card will be necessary, mainly because as you play cards from your hand, you dwindle your resources because Digivolving normally would be what keeps your hand at a reasonable size. But shifting gears to Shoto and Pteromon, Fluffymon is the newest green level 2 Digimon that on your turn, once per turn when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain 1 memory. Simple, and pretty standard for green decks. Pteromon on the other hand has a Your Turn effect that when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with a bird or avian in its traits, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. And unlike Fluffymon, this Digimon has an all turns, once per turn effect where when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain 1 memory. There's a reason for this effect, which we're slowly getting to. Like Pteromon, Galemon has the same inheritable, and like Shoeshoemon has the same when digivolving effect, but plays Shoto Kazama instead. I really want these effects to go to our existing Digidestined, but who knows when we'll circle back to them. Which brings us to the level 5 Digimon, Grandgalemon. This Digimon has the new keyword Vortex, an ability that lets you attack an opponent's Digimon at the end of turn, and can even attack with this effect the turn it is played. Meaning in some ways, you have Green's version of what Grandis did, and Rush combined into one. When digivolving, this Digimon may suspend one Digimon. If this effect suspended one of your Digimon, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Oh boy, we're going back to immunity effects? And this one is fairly easy because you could evo into this, suspend itself to give it immunity through your opponent's turn, then go into a level 6 for some major damage. Its inheritable is a your turn once per turn effect where when this Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Huge for some green decks, but more so probably best utilized in the Pteromon deck because you have an easier time searching. Now, for the level 6 Digimon, I'm going to pronounce this a little differently for all my videos, because the way it's emphasized can be construed as a derogatory term. So for my pronunciation of this Digimon, it will be zephagamon to avoid that. This Digimon, while having a Digivolution cost of 4, can Vortex, meaning you can attack at end of turn regardless. It also has Security Attack +1, and a when digivolving when attacking effect that suspends one Digimon. Could be yours, or your opponent's. If this effect suspended your Digimon, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It's not terrible removal, but I do think that with so much immunity, some decks just don't care. Still, it's pretty neat. Shoto himself, however, is the talk of the town when it comes to EX7, as this tamer is causing a lot of issues right now in Japan. Start of your main, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. End of your turn, by suspending this tamer, one of your Digimon gains piercing and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. If it has the Vortex Warrior trait, unsuspend it. This tamer allows you to fully utilize zephagamon now, because you not only have piercing, but you could do the removal first before unsuspending it and going in for the attack. What the problem with this tamer is that it can generically give any Digimon blocker and piercing, meaning Demon Lords and Mother D-Reaper can produce some pretty big blockers. There are talks of changing the text for this card, and others of even choice restricting it. But in my mind, it's an oversight on design that will largely affect zephagamon-based decks, and Mother D-Reaper needs Mother in order to function. Wind Slicer is the option card for Pteromon, and is a 2-cost green option card that allows you to suspend one level 6 or lower Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Its security effect simply triggers the main effect. Overall, this option feels like your default Needle Spray or Flower Cannon and feels like a win more condition that gives you more attacks in one turn. But the last and final card for this video is going to be Vortex Resonance, the first 3-color option card that is also a secret rare. For 3 memory, this card can be played if you have a Digimon or Tamer with the Liberator trait, ignoring the color requirements. The main effect allows you to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Liberator trait, then return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the Digivolution cost reduced by 4. Largely, this card has no delay effect even though you'd normally expect it, but it does basically for 3 memory allow you to search and simultaneously evo for cheap. Its security effect allows you to play 1 card with a Liberator trait with a cost of 4 or less from hand or trash, without paying cost, then you add this card to your hand. In some ways, I view this card as a way to mix Liberator cards into other existing decks, but in looking at DigimonMeta.com, it did not have any decks that ran this card in the deck. This feels like a filler secret rare that won't see too much play, but who knows? Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. Generally, what were your thoughts on the Shoto Kazama and Arisa Kinosaki cards for Pteromon and Shoemon, and do you think EX7 is going to outperform some of the current decks of the meta? Or are we going to see some major changes in English before we can see the fruits of labor actually bear something? Let me know your thoughts, because this week, it's all about EX7, Digimon Liberator. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.